Well, hello everybody. So we're back here working on the Mustang again. So as with anything that seems to go with this car, the more I dig in or the more I start, the further I have to go. So I think y'all have seen or will seen a video about the heater box and how I disassembled it. So working on it, did find out that the radiator, I'm sorry, not radiator, heater core is leaking. So I think that's where some of the rust on the passenger side has come from. But to make sure, I've now investigating the cowl, uh, which is the part between the windshield and the hood that has the vents in it. And there's that upper part you see, and then there's the part up under the dash that you don't see. And that's where the air comes in for your heater box or the vents that are in the car, assuming you don't have AC, um, those kind of things. So that's required me to basically start taking out everything under the dash. So let's go take a look at what we have now. If you've never seen under the Mustang dash with nothing in it, I've got one last piece to take out, and I'll show y'all that, and I'll get it taken out, and we'll see how that works. So let's switch over and kind of take a look. So okay, so here we are. I've got most of the dash all apart. So that's where the instrument cluster. That's where that blank piece is, unless you have air. If you have AC, that's where the some AC vents would be, 67, 68. Still left that part in of the dash because, well, it's in good shape and nothing's behind it but a metal plate. The glove box is out. The radio mount is out. You'll also see that the ignition is out, and over there the light switch is out. The heater controls are all out. And there goes the siren for the fire station across the road, so I hope that's nothing major. But let's get up under here and take a look at what else is gone and what we can see now. So this piece you see right here, this part is the underside of the cowl. That hole right there is where fresh air comes in on the passenger side, and the heater box connects to. So right in here is the heater box. That hole right there is where the blower motor goes. Those two holes are right there where the hoses come in for the heater core through the firewall. Okay, so right in here is always filled in with the heater box. Okay, so what often happens with these cars is up in here, water will get in and start to rust out that hole. And there's actually a collar up in there. Maybe you can see kind of the edge of it. That goes up to keep water from pouring in. There is drainage holes that's supposed to drain this out the side, but it tends to rust. That actually doesn't look too bad. And I've stuck the camera up in there, try to get some light so you can see the inside of the cowl, right? What it looks like in there. So I'll go ahead and try to insert those in right about here. Okay, so you've seen kind of the inside, at least on the passenger side. I haven't got to the driver's side. So this section right in here, that bracket or bar you see there, that's for the wipers. So those two holes that are sitting right up there, that's where the wiper motor mounts. And when you're putting in the American Auto Wire harness, they want you to pull that bracket out before you start putting in the fuse box and things with it. You also have to mount those relays to that bracket, so it's easier to get that set up outside the car. So I had to pull that out anyway. If you look up there, that's where the speaker would be if you had a speaker. I don't know where the original speaker went. It did come with an AM radio. So continuing on, and by the way, back there you can see where there's two holes. That also is part of the cowl. It runs the whole length of the car. And then what I've got over here, oops, see if I can get up in there. So that is the vent on the driver's side. This little knobby-doo right here is what opens and closes that vent. There's just a cable. It's a mechanical door in there that opens and closes. So I've got to pull that vent out, and it's just got some, let's see if I can get in, show you where the screws are. There's like 3 or 4 screws in there. Let's see. Yep, there you see one right back there. It's that J hook on. That's one of the brackets for the wire harness. And then there's going to be one over there, and there's one at least on the back, if not another. So I've got to disconnect those along with the cable that holds the, you know, the lever that opens and closes the damper in there. And with that out, then I can look up in the driver's side. You haven't seen any leak on this side per se, but you know the floor is rusted out, so it could be coming from that. I'm really hoping it's not, because I don't want to have to try to pull the cowl. That's a job well outside my capabilities, for sure. But we'll see. So far, so good, though. Set all the wiring's out from the inside, from the main wire harness, so that's a good thing. Now I'm just getting in to see what's the good, the bad, the ugly. Well, at the same time, I don't know if you can see it hanging up there. Let's try to zoom in. Right there is the bracket for the wiper motor. I pulled it, cleaned it, and painted it. And then I've also been working on cleaning the heater box. I slide out here. So here is the outer shell of the heater box. Let me zoom back out. So I've pulled all the metal parts in there. I've sanded with my sandblasting cabinet and primed that, and then I just painted the outside. Like I said, this outer shell here is nothing but fiberglass, so I just sprayed some paint, cleaned it up. And I'm working on the glove box door here, trying to get it painted up. See that? Slowly but surely clean it up. It was very rusted right on that back side where that hinge was. So I'm not as worried about how this looks, because this is inside the car, this part here, but I want to try to make this outside. So I'm doing several passes and sanding, wet sanding, I don't know, stuff I've never done before. So, but there you go. I'm going to go ahead and pull that part out and see what we find now. Okay, after a lot of cussing and some throwing of tools and other things, because it's hard to get up under there. I really need some new glasses, because I get in there and I can't friggin' see. It's too close, so I can't focus. Anyway, neither here nor there. I got the vent out. You can see it's no longer there. That little pedal you see down there is the wiper squirters, washers, whatever you call them. You see some of the wires that go out into the A-pillar and down. Actually, they go out through and then run to the back. And so we get down here now, and let's see if I can do this in a way that you can see things. That's the bottom of the cowl over here. Now I've kind of checked things out. It looks, I think, worse than it really is. See if I can hold that. Let me get up here. So I think most of what is up here is dirt, not rust. I think it's in pretty good shape up there. So we'll have to check a little further later, but I don't think the cowl's in that bad a shape, which is good. I wasn't getting any leaking from here that I can tell. It's had a lot of dirt and grime, a lot of pine straw and stuff fell out of there. But that's about it. So I think I might be in pretty good shape on the cowl. A little cleanup in there, maybe run some sealer just to make sure, but I think we might be okay. If you know any better, please leave some comments. I really don't want to have to take the whole thing out because that's a major job. I look rough. Anyway, as I was saying, that's a major job. That's well outside my wheelhouse. I'm going to have to get a body person or something because that involves busting a bunch of welds and doing things well outside of my scope. So I've never even welded before. I'm going to try the floor pans at some point once I can get a welder. Anyway, so I'm hoping we're okay. Again, if you see anything, those of you that have worked more on this stuff than I have, please leave a comment. Let me know. I want to do it right, but I am on a very fixed budget. Thanks to the COVID stuff, my wife has had her hours greatly cut and whatnot. So, yeah. Anyway, so with that, y'all, hope you've enjoyed this, learned a thing or two, whatnot. Please make sure if you did like it to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, leave a thumbs down. Again, leave some comments. If you got any ideas, suggestions on anything I've talked about or things on other videos or whatnot, please leave those. And with that, I hope y'all have a great rest of your weekend.